last time we went to Raidell. We found some people. We talked to them. We were like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing. Are you guys ready? And they were like, yeah, sure, we can help you. Stuff. But it's like, it's late. Let's just stay here for the night before we move on. Oh, look, there's a circus in town. Not a circus, carnival in town, whatever it is.
Yep.
And
Also, we wanted to go check and see what the fuck a bunch of potions we had were.
oh yeah, we were doing like some investigations, and we found this really creepy apothecary.
Yes.
And so we did that. Riven found a new axe because
I forget what type of axe was it. I know I suggested the random axe of kindness, but I don't know if that stuck.
she actually set it on a the homebrew of axe called Howl. Pretty much, it kind of does the same thing as her other axe, except she can spend a charge to teleport to the axe if it hits.
So like Noctis throwing his sword in Final Fantasy 15. Gotcha.
Yeah. But let's see, that was just Locke and Riven.
Yep.
Everyone else went to the carnival thing.
And got promptly ripped the fuck off.
It was
Yes,
the
it's
prices were steep. This is
Yeah, like a thing called like one piece of food cost a platinum, or was 10 platinum?
A platinum. One.
A platinum.
1 platinum or 11 gold, I think.
Young sat there and it's like she found a little friend, so they're having fun with that.
Operative
I
word
think.
fun.
And then I can't remember what else.
That's about it.
Okay,
Oh.
then.
Did I not get new? I got new armor.
You did, yes.
Oh, you did. You're shiny?
I'm shiny now. I'm always immaculate.
Did you
forever.
keep the helmet with the antlers?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the
I
armor.
wonder. I could probably transplant the antlers from the old helmet and onto the new helmet. Could probably get like a blacksmith to do it. That wouldn't cost much.
What? So you're brand new and shiny, and it's like, what if you rolled up to your druid friend in Yukiei? Because that was like pretty much a style that you had going on and stuff of like Viking-ish, kind of. Now you're all shiny.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could still wear the same.
Settle
helmet.
in with the locals.
No, I
you,
keep
you,
it
you
first.
could still wear the same helmet. It's fine.
Okay.
But
And-
yeah. You had went and you got a new shiny armor because Mudslide obliterated the snot out of the test of strength game thing.
Robbed all my luck.
Eh,
What luck? It's you.
Look, man, I've been lucky before. It all had to go somewhere.
so
Have
what
you?
you're- So
Don't
what,
recall, I do not recall a time.
so what needs
Bro,
to
I got
happen
married,
then
yo.
is David.
Oh, we're talking real life. Okay.
What needs to happen here is Bjorn needs to, at his next chance to get a feat, needs to pick up the lucky feat. We're good.
Then I can
Um,
just roll 2 failures.
But anyway, so last session was ending with the group getting back together to prepare to leave. I guess it would technically be.
Because we got there in like kind of morning. It was mid-afternoon, and everyone went to the carnival, and we're just hanging out at the tavern or something.
I think so. Yeah. And like Unray and Mudslide wouldn't necessarily have to work hard to get all of her gear because all she's got is a ton of weapons. So you guys would be preparing to leave. The idea was to leave the next day and I imagine that, being that Riven has Hollis, she probably would not sleep in town. She'd probably leave
Nah,
and
she'd
go.
probably. Well, no, she would probably just find an alley that's nearby the tavern and
True,
hang out there.
true. Um, Generally speaking, you know, you don't necessarily have to be worrying about getting robbed at night because you have a massive wolf that most lowbrow bandits would be like, yeah, no.
Also, there's the fact that we're like over halfway to the level cap, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, ultimately, I imagine that Byrn and Locke and Oak and Young. Well, no, Byrn, Oak, and Locke will sleep in the one tavern, unless otherwise Bjorn has a place that he can sleep for free if he wants to go and spend a night at Mudslide's place.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing.
And Young is also mysteriously absent from sleeping at the tavern. And then beyond that, you guys would prepare to leave, and once you guys are, gathering up to get ready to actually head out, Young will actually show a what was her constellation prize from the one game that she played at the carnival off screen.
What?
The carnival game that she played, she did the like throw rings on bottles type of game. And she only managed to get constellation prize out of it. Which came in the form of a little dragon figurine.
Oh, that's cute.
Silver's
She
gonna
needs
like
a
that.
grand prize. She has a toy.
I mean, not grand prize, constellation prize. She has a toy.
She won a whole constellation. See that one up there? That's yours now. You win.
No, you shush.
I was gonna say, like, are you sure you're not thinking of the word constellation, not constellation? Because that is a very different connotation.
Yes, that. I'm dumb. Anyway,
You said it, not me.
Moving on.
yeah, one of those things. Anyway, you guys will. She will reveal her little dragon figurine, and she will comment that it has a few little, like, they're almost like runes, and they're almost like actual draconic writing, draconic characters. And
She says it looks like draconic.
she herself thinks it might be, because it looks like it's more than just little carvings of random symbols. It looks like it could mean something, and she's curious if
If someone can
someone can read
say
it.
what it is.
Knowing that Locke can read any writing, she's like, "Yeah, Locke, can you figure out?"
Let me
what
see.
this says?"
Byron has passing interest.
I will have a look at it, and I will use minor illusion to make it look like Locke is wearing a pair of glasses on the edge of his nose.
Jeez.
Why? Random.
Because he feels like it, okay? He doesn't need a reason.
Sure.
What's it say?
Can I make his glasses glow?
Oh, jeez.
Now he can really see.
Ah! My
He's now blind.
eyes!
now he needs real glasses.
I mean, technically the glasses aren't there, so
His eyes just light up.
Oh, this is very convenient. Thank you.
Oh, Ray
All I
just
can tell you
touched.
is white. My eyes are voraciously watering. The tears go down. I can see clearly now that my eyes have gone.
No. The range says touch. So I would reach up to tap the frames, but the frames aren't there, so I tap you on the nose. The very tip of your nose is glowing.
Rudolph the
Rudolph the
red-nosed
red-nosed
warlock
reindeer.
had a very grumpy face.
oh god.
We're so fucking stupid. I love it.
Anyway, so yes, Locke. It will simply say the following three words.
What does it say?
It says fire, gold, claw. And no, I have no idea what that means.
You had a prize that made you breathe fire, right? And they were all about our gold. I don't know. They're dragon things.
I cast detect magic.
The little figurine is not magical.
I don't know that. It's cool though. I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yay.
a cute little thing.
Interesting.
And I guess this would be, yeah. I'm just gonna say it straight up to the person that it matters for.
Just going to say it straight up via text messages on Discord.
Yes. Anyway, so, you guys will then start to make your way out, unless any of you have anything else that you want to say.
Nope, Locke's got nothing.
Is Riven going to divvy up potions, or is she just going to keep hold of them? Because I know she bought at least a few. I think you guys bought.
I bought a bunch.
Okay, yeah. I think he has all the potions.
I forgot to add them to my inventory, though. I think.
Didn't you get like 57? We're good. We're good.
No, not that many.
I know I got like a fire resistance potion and like a collection of lesser and greater potions of healing.
It was, you got 5 of the lesser and 4 of the greater, I do believe.
That sounds about right.
So,
Yeah, we got those. I feel like squishy people should probably have the greater ones, just because
yeah.
squishy
I mean,
people
yeah,
are
that
easier
makes
to
sense.
kill.
Yeah, makes sense.
You guys are going to be making your way out and heading south to, I guess, go straight to the temple, because you already got Unray and Mudslide, and you have the potential for just a sending spell to call whoever else is not there, and they can just appear, because Druid of I can just take everybody all at once in a tree.
Yes.
Indeed. I think it'd probably be a good idea to save the sending message for Azza until we're a little closer.
Oh yeah, of
Yes.
course, naturally. But if you're heading south to prepare yourselves for that sort of shenanigan, and is there anything that anyone would like to discuss or talk about along the way?
No.
I'm just gonna have Locke spend his nights working on just practicing and making sure he's up to speed on using his spell that summons up the spooky dimension.
Spooky.
I'm just making sure he's got that down. He is practicing that routinely
Oh, okay.
every night, just going at it.
Can I make an attempt to understand mysterious Great Beyond messages?
Great beyond messages.
Yes, roll intelligence.
Apparently not.
Wait, do you have proficiency in history?
Yes.
What would that make your roll if it was history instead of intelligence?
+2 becomes +7, so it would be an 11.
Okay. I am going to say with that you succeed, because even though I haven't put enough of the details there, it wouldn't be hard for you to figure out. Even if Byrn the character knows what he's looking at, even if Daniel the DM can't describe it properly.
Okay.
So, yeah. That
Yay,
will,
Byrn is smart. Sorry.
that will succeed in the thing that you are trying to succeed at.
Okay. So do I know a location or a direction or another Great Beyond answer or something? Apparently it's another Great Beyond answer.
Yes, it is.
Aha. Interesting.
Okay. So,
And we are currently camping where we are?
yes.
Almost 3/4 of a day south of town or whatever. Half a day south.
Yeah, something like that.
Nothing necessarily that I want to discuss, no. Since that was your original question.
Right. And Riven doesn't have anything. And Bjorn doesn't have anything.
No. Bjorn's going to spend his free time using torn cloths and furs to make his armor look appropriately rustic.
He rips a little bit of the shoulder and then like
Would that count as a performance check to make it look good, as like an arts and crafts?
It's arts and crafts time.
Please say yes. Please say yes. That would make me so happy.
You know what? Sure.
Yes.
So you're trying to make your...
Ah!
Oh, it looked very rustic.
You make it shinier.
David, maybe you should just start using the in-game dice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get an actual dice set.
Because this has been going on for the entire time he's been in this game. It's never once let up.
I forgot to roll my Sam roller.
You need to get your computer blessed, dude.
That's some pretty decent.
That was beautiful.
To be fair, if he tried to gauzy it up to look more rustic, and by that account, quote unquote, not shiny and pristine, it wouldn't like that, because it wants to be clean, because magic, so...
So he fails not because he makes it beautiful instead of rustic. He fails because it says no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Smear some dirt here. Add a feather into the weave here. Why is it spot me?
All right. Hey, guess what I just rolled with my actual die?
A what?
Nat 20.
Of course.
Perfect representation there.
Dude, I'm telling you, you need to sit there and, like, get your computer blessed.
From now on, I'm doing all my D20 rolls with this one.
If your computer rolls bad, just throw out your computer and use a new one.
Yeah.
It
Right.
works with dice.
So, were you able to hear what was said while you were getting your other dice, David?
Sorry, I was not.
Okay, I didn't think so. But your armor is so pristine and shiny because it wants to be. Your nat 20 fail is you're trying to make it, or your fail of performance was you're trying to make it rustic by dirtying it up a little bit, and as soon as you dirty it up, it's clean. You dirty it up, it's clean. You dirty it up, it's clean.
So like the rags and furs just fall off every time.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
You can definitely um like use if you have like a cloak that was more rustic of your own gear before that, you can have that cloak over it, and then you're not, you know,
Well, yeah,
super
definitely
crazy.
gonna do that.
And you still could have your antlers helmet because generally it's not like a full plate set with like helmet and shield and all that. It's mostly just the chest piece and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So you can definitely supplement it with your original armor stuff to make it not as crazy. But yeah. So Bjorn is doing that during his uh time. I figure maybe Mudslide and Unray, since they're actually traveling with you, um, they would um, be a part of the watches on some level. Mudslide probably, yeah. Mudslide's gonna do a watch with Bjorn in the first part, and then Unray would probably do her watch with Young and Riven at the end. Just because Mudslide's closer to Bjorn for obvious reasons, and
Oh,
And-
jeez.
Unray is more akin to wanting to be up in the morning than being up in the middle of the night. Even though she's a drow, she grew up in the city with it being bright all the time. So also because Riven.
Oh, one
I-
other thing. One
Huh?
other thing I would like Locke to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would like Locke to, when he gets a chance in a moment, to use his book of communion with the rest of the family and let them know that, like, okay, we're en route to the keep.
Mm.
So, any of you who are going to participate in that raid, now's the time.
Okay.
You get a text message back. Today doesn't really work for me.
He gets a message back. The usual data rates may apply.
I get a message back. It's like, I can't do it this week. Can we try next week? Like Timmy just had the kid, and I'm like, this is not D&D. This is saving our friend.
But yeah. So, Locke, what does your like focusing of trying to make sure that your swamp and all that stuff really look like anyway? Like, do you actually cast the spell, or are you more like prepping it and focusing on it, but not actually fully casting it?
He's doodling.
I'm doodling in real life, first of all. Thank you, but I would say for like practicing it and preparing it and making sure it's working, I would say that it's a case of like if you look towards him, you'll occasionally just see like roots growing around him or little plant matter like swamp plants and little bioluminescent orange pods just sort of appearing around him where he sits. There's like a little mist, but it's nothing intense. He's just making sure he's got the motions down.
Right. Okay.
So anyone who's curious about that can ask.
Right. Oh, the only person who having your watch with you is Byrn. So.
And I'm pretty sure he's seen this thing, though he doesn't necessarily know what the fuck it is.
Perhaps. I mean, he's pretty smart. He can deduce it pretty well, I think, unless he just wants to ask.
You said you were drawing it, or you were doing what with it? I'm sorry.
In real life, I'm drawing, but in game, my character is like just surrounded, like he's like in a meditative stance. a little ways off to one side, like just sitting cross-legged, and there's like a miniature version of his funky swamp summon spell going off around him all the time. A miniature version where it's just like a few roots or a few swamp bioluminescent plants, some weird mist, nothing intense.
Ah, gotcha. It's a topiary biome.
I don't know. What? Explain.
Like a topiary can be a tree, but it's the size of a small little potted plant. And it's a biome that stretches for miles, but it's actually teeny tiny. It's right here.
Someone translate, please. I don't understand.
You made a swamp the size of like a Lego set.
Okay, yes, I already said that.
Adorable, tiny, menacing swamp. I don't know. It was funny mental image to me.
Anyway, so let us do a quick perception rolls. This time I'm going to do them easier for my brain since I have extra characters. Let us do perception.
I see
rolls.
all.
Oh, good for you.
Riven goes to sleep with her eyes open. She knows.
All of this. It's just 9.
I mean, since she rolled a natural 20, if she wanted to sleep with one eye open, I'd let her.
Yeah, she is very suspicious of people.
Oh, I only rolled a 4.
Jeez.
Let's double check here.
And I rolled a 20 overall.
Oh, nice. So
And the GM is currently trying to do things to make it easier for his brain,
Yes.
since he has multiple characters.
oh shush, because this is fun. Mudslide, she's nothing. Good job.
Oh yeah, you got a bunch of characters, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oak, Young, Unray, and Mudslide.
Ray, what is your bonus? Okay, yes. Oh, cool. Okay. Then the characters I actually have sheets for. I mean sheets in Roll24 rather. Come on, load. Perception of yes. Whoosh. He rolled a 5. One better than the other person that has a high perception roll. And then this person whose perception is also kind of crap, just like Mudslide. Oh, nice, cool. So,
We notice a peaceful night. The end.
I mean, for see, Bjorn got a 20. Oak was with Bjorn and got a 20.
Are they first watch?
And Mudslide was with them and got a 6. So, first watch there, yeah, nothing really of note. You're still a little ways away from Raidell, so you're hearing the sounds of Raidell's night sort of starting up. And Bjorn is BRB, so if there was anything else that was needed for that moment, I don't have to worry about it. Yay. And then into Bjorn, bleh, too many names. Byrn, and Locke. Locke's perception was a 13. Byrn's perception was a 18. Yeah, not really major of note. So with those kinds of rolls, and then Locke is focusing on his swamp and his thing. Is Byrn going to say or do anything in regards to swamp or otherwise?
Locke's just sort of focusing intently on it.
Yep.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like he's so focused that he can't talk. Just like kind of like how you can talk to someone when they're drawing, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like, they might not be able to give you their full attention, but they can hold a conversation.
Gotcha. So, I guess, sure. I guess I'd buy it. So, are you practicing or redesigning or what you?
If I wanted to redesign my space, I'd have to be asleep, I think. I can't really mold it when I'm not in it. I'm just practicing getting the form down. I've had the spell for a while, but it is a spell of my own creation, and so there are flaws that I'm still trying to work out. For example, if it gets disrupted by anything other than me deciding I'm done, then there's a very good chance that it could cause me some extraordinary discomfort. So I'm trying to work on that, but I'm not really sure there's much I can do. I am physically, like mentally, just bringing a part of a different plane of existence over into this one by raw force, so... And then I'm holding it there by sheer force of will alone.
Interesting.
Yes. That's loud.
Yeah, loud background noise.
Sort of, yeah.
There's
There we
suddenly
go.
lots of loud background noise. There we go, that's better.
It was like a fan or something.
Alright.
Would enhancing any particular ability, flavor-wise, assist Locke?
What's Arcana uses intelligence, and Locke's spells use charisma, right? Because Warlock.
I believe, yeah. Generally speaking, yes. My spellcasting modifiers and ability, at least, is based on my charisma.
Yeah. So I could see that either intelligence or charisma could easily help him out in that endeavor if Byrn was wanting to do like an enhanceability type of thing. Though mechanically speaking, Locke's got a ton of days to sort of work this out, so actually doing a roll is
Right.
not going to be a thing.
But it's still, I think, a kind gesture. So, would you by chance appreciate a little magical boost to help with your focus?
I would not be against it, by all means.
Sure. And I give him a friendly pat on the shoulder. And,
boop. Yep.
Boop.
And a poop?
Boop.
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 Enhanceability in the Roll20 chat.
See, does it say intelligence in there somewhere?
It does. Or it should, because it has all of them.
Oh, Fox is cunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess Fox is cunning then.
Yep. So, Locke will find himself with a little bit more cunning and focus to help with his magic for that night. Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray!
Otherwise, the watch is fairly uneventful.
Generally, yeah.
So, since we're pretty safely outside of Raidell, can still hear it in the distance, and we're on pretty much right off the path or whatever, and it seems pretty calm. I guess I would stand up and stretch and ask Locke, would you feel confident finishing out the watch if I wanted to stretch my legs for a little bit?
May I insight check this?
Absolutely.
17.
Is this an opposed check of some sort?
I mean, technically, if he's going to insight, the best thing that I could do would be to say that it was an opposed check. So you wouldn't have to roll it on screen if you don't want
Persuasion
to.
or just
So the idea would be if I was trying to hide or hold something back, it's a question if he can see that.
Yeah.
So I guess I would roll a this kind of thing to GM if I've set this correctly. Oop.
Holy, wow. Um. Okay. Um. So yeah. Based on that setup, um, we can say that. I mean, ultimately, Byron's your character. So, what does a 17 get Locke of trying to read on Byron at the moment?
I mean, we went to the carnival and it was kind of fun, but it was kind of standing around, and we've been traveling a bit. Just feeling a little bit restless. I'd like to kind of stretch my legs. So yeah, he seems like he just wants to kind of walk a bit.
All right, just don't go too far. Don't want to get getting jumped if you're too far away from the rest of us for us to help, yeah?
Of course. Can you send a message to me if I'm not here, or do you have to see me for that?
All of my telepathic communication abilities rely on either eye of sight or being within a certain range. If you're more than like 120 feet away, I'm not going to be able to pop it.
Well, my aim is to be back before our watch is over, so I shouldn't be too far. So.
And
All right,
if something,
have fun on your walk and don't attack anything.
and on that note, if something was to actually happen to attack the camp, odds are Locke is going to wake up the rest of the party to do that. And then if he was way too far away, Oak can just be like, "Yo, dude, back now."
Yo, dude, back!
Anyway, so
Before I go, I can also offer, because I forgot that I had it in this guy's inventory, I can also offer to throw an incense on my incense burner if he would like that for his meditation. I have both strong and pleasant.
I think I'll pass on that. Incense, I'm not used to potent smells, even if they're pleasant. And, well, the swamp has its own little aroma. I'd rather be enveloped in that while I'm working with it.
Sure, no problem.
That's gross.
All right. Well, have fun.
Yep.
I guess I'll take off in the direction of left.
in the direction of left.
Don't you mean Weast?
Yes, I do.
All right.
well, it depends on where he's facing. Is he facing north, south?
I was facing north, and then I went left.
Okay, so east.
Yes.
Yes. So, seeing as how when you guys do the watches, you're sitting, like outside of camp, or like outside of the tent anyway, and you have your big setup for your blanket of fortitude and whatever, and Riven never sleeps inside the tent because she's sleeping with next to Hollis, and Hollis can't go in the tent. So, hey, Sam,
Yes.
you should roll me a d4 or decide where Riven is sleeping in relation to the tent to see if
I know
Byron-
she wants to be somewhere where she's actually like she can see the opening of the tent. But I would probably say
Would she be closer to the road or closer to the mountains?
oh.
You sort of go off the path a little bit of the road, to set up tent so you're not doing it in the middle of
Probably
the
a
road.
little closer to the mountains.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want to deal with the if someone comes by on the road.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. And of course, Byrn wouldn't necessarily have to roll anything to sneak by unless he wanted to sneak by. He knows he's walking by. He's confident.
I'm just going on a stroll.
Yep. Hey, Riven, give me perception at disadvantage because you're technically asleep. Or you can
Yes.
use your passive. Your passive's at least 15, 16.
17.
Although we also made the comment of you sleeping with one eye open earlier.
But no, I rather use that. I rather use that nat 20 as in like on my watch.
Right.
So
Okay.
I can roll perception at disadvantage, but I do have a passive perception of 17.
Go ahead and make a roll for it.
9.
Okay. So, yeah, probably not. Yeah, Hollis is probably just mostly asleep with near you, so yeah. Okay. So
I mean,
he could do a roll and he wouldn't have disadvantage.
yeah, it would just be a straight row.
Yeah.
6. No, we're just asleep.
Nope, just asleep. Alright. So Byrn, you're going to go wandering off in the direction of Weast, because that's what it is now.
Yep.
Yep.
And you didn't necessarily have a exact location per se, but you could probably roll a is your perception higher than your investigation?
Lot.
Right. So you can do perception, sort of casually searching the mountainside as you're wandering closer to it.
15.
Yay for can't fail a skill check. Yeah. So you will see a opening in the mountainside that amounts to kind of a cave. It's kind of small. If you was to actually walk inside or go inside, you kind of have to duck and hunch a little bit. How tall is Byrn?
Did I write that down somewhere? I might have. Apparently not.
He would be at least 5 or 5.5 feet tall. He's not going to be like 5 feet tall. He's, more average.
How tall's average half elf?
Generally speaking, about like an average human. So
5'10".
yeah.
So if that's the average, 5'11", maybe.
Yeah. So you're kind of close to 6 foot, but not quite there. So you do have to sort of hunch a little bit because the like threshold for this like opening to the cave is more designed for somebody closer to 5 foot and below. But
Okay.
yeah, you have a little opening in a cave system. It's kind of dark because it's dark outside right now, and you can't see in the dark. Which technically
Sure, I can.
which
I cast light.
technically, your perception check that you did would have been at disadvantage anyway because it's dark, unless you did light first. But you have light, so it's fine.
just for completeness, because I don't want to skip it, then between a
Oh,
15 and a
jeez.
33, it was 15.
Yes. Um,
But yeah, I can cast light on something.
pick up a rock or something, and then you have a light.
I mean, yeah.
So you can see inside with your little light source, and you'll see that as you sort of go deeper down, um, it doesn't slope super hard. It slopes a little, but it's just a sort of it's kind of like when you have a hole in the wall shop in the middle of nowhere of a town. It's a hole in the mountainside marketplace thing.
Okay.
And when you go deeper inside, it's a little bit more lit up, but it's still mostly dim lit down here.
Okay.
Assuming you want to go inside. I don't know if you do or not. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. You will wander in, and you have found a little hidden marketplace of sorts. It admittedly looks shady as I'll get out.
Well, duh, it's in the dark.
I mean, true. Fair.
Ah, I pay attention.
And you're going to see a few like dwarves and gnomes and halflings, most of the smaller tier races. Granted, the tallest is still the dwarf that is still medium sized, but yeah. And it is a assortment of little vendors and dealers and other such things. And what make this is not with disadvantage, because you can see. Make for me another perception check.
Okay. 28.
Okay. You're going to see two things that are somewhat interesting to you, potentially, or two things of interest as you're sort of looking around.
Okay.
One is the fact that the Dragonborn, the tall Dragonborn that was at the carnival before, is way towards the edge of the. Well, he's not vending. He doesn't have a table or anything. He's just sort of sitting at a actual table where he can get food, and he looks like from this distance with the 28 that he's actually got like a tankard of mead, of some kind. And then much closer to you is what appears to be a of all the vendors or whatever is a figure of some sort that is sitting on a stool and leaning against a walking stick that's as tall as they are, and they have a little table of wares like everybody else, but instead of like peddling their wares like all the rest of the people, the reason this particular person sticks out is because unlike everybody else that's, trying to call at the few people that are wandering around down here, this person's not. They're just leaning up against their walking stick. And you are getting a few looks from the people that are down here, but it's not hostile. It's more like, huh, okay.
Okay. So the person who's leaning on their stick, they don't necessarily have wares or anything out in front of them?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Okay.
It's just they're not.
But they're not actively barking at people.
Right, precisely.
Gotcha. What kind of wares do they have in front of them?
It will look to be let's see. It looks to be it's a sort of smallish table, so it's mostly in the realm of jewelry or like necklaces or like little figurines like the one that Young had, though not dragon figurines in this case, just a little wooden figurine of some sort. Actually one looks kind of like a bear. And they just small things generally. The wares on the table are small things.
So, let's see.
And there's of course other vendors in here that you could choose to investigate, but
Right. So there was the one leaning on the stick. What was the other one that caught my attention? Didn't you say there were two that sort of stood out?
yeah, the two that stood out to you was the person leaning on the stick and the person in the back that was the dragonborn from the carnival.
Ah, okay. And the Dragonborn was the one that was like the prize guardian person?
Yep.
Okay.
Very tall dragonborn prize guardian type. Yep.
Do any of the things that the vendor who's not like being aggressive, does any of the wares look like magical or valuable, or is it just like baubles?
Do you have Arcana?
No.
Do you have Detect Magic as a cleric?
I do, but not prepared.
You should have prepared that.
Well, yeah. Either way.
That's not something I frequently need.
True. Generally speaking, you're traveling around with Locke, who has Detect Magic on command, so.
Exactly.
Um,
Diversify, not redundify or whatever.
yeah, right. Why not? If you wander closer, you can do another perception. Well, this would be more
Investigate.
investigate, or yeah, we'll go investigate.
Sure.
Trying to identify if there's any sort of like runic carvings or anything like that. Though you definitely have to get much closer.
Oh yeah, I'd walk up to the wares and sort of poke at them. Not literally poke at them, but peruse. It's like, I can see much more clearly now. It's exactly what I thought it was. I still don't know what that is.
It's exactly what I thought it was. I thought it was something that I had no idea what it was. So nothing has fucking changed.
Pretty much is my assumption.
Though something has changed now that you're closer.
Okay.
Because even with just your passive perception, now that you're closer to said person leaning on the stick, you realize that they're lightly snoring. They're asleep.
Maybe they're back. I'm gonna get a snack.
Sure.
And it looks like because your passive perception is decent, you can see a little bit towards the cloak, towards like under the cloak of the person that you're looking at, and there's a bit of fur, so possibly at the backseat.
Well, I hate to disturb their nap, but if they're in a place like this, it's probably in their best interest to get their rest not with their wares out. Unless this is some absolutely super, like, 3D chess, big brain, catch somebody kind of ploy. I guess I would,
Take a look at it.
yeah. I guess I would, grab something that looks of less value than the things around it, just in case, and just gently call out to him and, excuse me, what can you tell me about this one? And see if maybe speaking directly at them wakes them up, perhaps.
Oh, shit, is that mine?
That is she's on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Meow.
I speak out to the furry person in a cloak. They go, meow, meow, meow.
The timing of that is perfect.
It was, actually.
So, did you grab something, or are you more calling towards the vendor?
Both. I actively sought out whatever my assumption would be the cheapest or least valuable item, and I just grabbed that so that I'm not holding like something super valuable. Just I grabbed something that looks cheap or less valuable potentially, and call out, yeah, can you tell me what this is or what you got here? Hoping
Okay.
that wakes them up and not trying to give away that I just caught you snoozing, whoever you are. Giving them their dignity and not ousting them to whoever else would be in the area, potentially.
Yeah. So, you will call out, or you will speak out holding the thing, and then the little furry individual will probably do one of those like light snoring, huh? Whack! And the staff that they were leaning against, and she smacks at you, and Sam go. What's what's Byrn's AC?
Wakes up smacking me. Okay. AC 17.
Okay, so she missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? No, I gently set it down. I asked what you were trying to sell.
You a thief. Mm.
Wait, is this? Oh fuck! What's her name? I can't remember. Tree.
Tree.
It was very
It's Tree.
simple. Yep.
She's been straight out of her stump.
Okay.
Mm.
Tree cola.
Mm.
So for David,
Is thief going to pay? She's just like holding her staff out at you, like she's like slight moments, like she goes to try to touch you with it, but then backs off, touch back, touch. Just like, eh.
Can you perhaps tell me what it is that this is, and maybe it is something I seek to buy?
You got money? I only go with to money. But since you try to be thief, maybe you don't have money. How do I know you don't have money?
I do have some.
Mm. What do you think? Should I tell him what it is? Should I tell him? She just like kind of looks away. I don't know. I don't. Yes. Well, yeah. I need to go. I need to go because food don't grow on tree. Do you see tree? There's no food. Anyway. Yes. Yes. These are my artifacts. I collect them.
Aha.
Very magical. Yes.
So, without making the faux pas of picking it up again, I gesture towards the inexpensive looking whatever it was, whatever was the most mundane, and
I would say the little wooden figurine that looked like a bear. Right?
Sure.
Yep.
So I gestured to the little carved wooden bear, and Ooh. So what can you tell me about this artifact? What's this
Ah,
thing?
yes. You see, I came across this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years ago, I came across this. You see, it is very dangerous. Yes, had to go into a cave of bears. Yes, big and furry and a bit smelly. Smelly, yes, smelly. The, but I found it, just laying there. I pick it up. I looked at it. And what it can do is you throw it out onto the field, and a totem appears. Yes, yes, and it gives you strength of a bear.
Interesting. So how much are you looking to make for this
10
artifact?
platinum.
10 platinum.
Do you see me? I shouldn't go out adventuring. So I need more money to live longer. Yes. So I don't go out and hurt myself. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 10 platinum. You got 10 platinum? Give me 10 platinum.
So for 10 platinum, you'll give me this.
Yes.
Out of character, I already know better, but do I need an insight check to know that this is a very good idea?
I don't know. Do you want to roll an insight check?
Kinda.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Uh...
I was worried. Seems potentially dubious. Would you think?
I mean, it could be.
Okay. Comparing her to the likes of other vendors around, other than first introductions that she was asleep at her shop, and that the things may or may not actually be worth 10 platinum. Does she look like the kind of folk that are selling at other like stands or whatever?
She's her stand and the little area that she has is much smaller than most of everyone else there. And like she was not actively trying to bark out and get people to buy her stuff, whereas a lot of the others are, and a lot of the others
Right.
have more.
I would say everyone would be keeping their distance. Like, no one's very close to her.
Right, and that's the other thing. None of the other vendors are really close to where her little area is. They're sort of giving her a wide berth.
Oh, so
What?
10 platinum for bear?
You mentioned that you were trying to buy food, huh?
Yeah, because, do I look like a farmer to you?
Does she look like a what?
Farmer.
Farmer.
Farmer. Oh, no.
Okay, then I need money to get food. So, are you going to buy that or not?
Let's see. Thinking back to the carnival, I gave a token that I was given in the welcome pack to Bjorn.
Right?
Was that the try a minigame token?
Yep.
So I still have the rat on a stick token,
Technically, yes, you do.
because I don't think I ever used that. I am going to attempt to barter.
Okay.
Does she appear to have any place that she's keeping her monies?
I mean, there's not that you can see, but there's like this big bag that's on the ground next to her. That seems to be full. Brim. It's pretty much full of stuff.
Okay.
The ball jigging ready to go pop pop.
Yes.
So, since she likes things, so I reach into my stuff and fish out my alms box that I have for collecting like donations or whatever. And I'll set that on the corner of her table or booth or whatever. And I will fish out the rat on a stick token.
What is that?
Huh?
What is this thing? She pokes the box.
It's a place to keep your money safe.
I don't need that.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been to the carnival that's near Raidell?
No.
Well, they give out free food if you give them this token. I point to the token I set down.
Why do I want to go there?
It's free food.
But it requires a token. So how is
Yeah.
it free?
You give them this token. This token is free food.
So if you give them the token, it's not free food.
No.
Because you're giving them something. It is a transaction.
Okay, this token has already been paid for, and this token can be exchanged one time for food. And that transaction requires no additional money.
So what? Just feed me for a day?
No. I was going to see if I might interest you in trading some things and a little bit of platinum. 10 seems a little bit steep.
What do you have for trade?
You said that you remember this trinket from the cave with the bears, and the bears had a very strong smell. You said you didn't like that smell, right?
Uh-huh.
I pull out one of the incense of subtype pleasant and hand her a stick to smell. Do you like how this smells?
She like leans forward a little bit, takes a sniff. Yeah, it's okay.
So would you be willing to settle for 7 platinum and the incense and the token? If you ever happen to go to the carnival, you get food one time.
This seems like a persuasion roll.
Yes.
Is that what is desired?
Yep. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. How much platinum?
7.
How many incense you got?
I have 3. I also have 3 others, but they're really smelly. You said you didn't like smelly. That's why I gave you the one that smelled pleasant.
Deal.
Okay. So I surrender 7 platinum. Come on, roll 20. Surrender 7 platinum.
3 good smelling incense?
I have incense hyphen pleasant.
Okay.
So yeah.
And it was 3, so. What else? Is there anything else you want?
Nope. I appreciate your time. Sorry,
You sure? Look at this, look at this.
Pulls out a dry leaf.
She's like, I have this really rare collectible token. Good for free food.
See, she holds up like a necklace that's just like has like bones on it. It's like, see, look at this is another magic item. It protects you from the dead.
Only 12 platinum. One of the bugs flies away. 11 platinum.
No, she'd be like, this. She actually goes, thank God. And she like pulls up and it's like, that was the only other magic item I got. The rest are just trinkets. Like, there's this like, she like points to a ring like, yeah, this is kind of useless. I'll give you this for 5 silver.
How many things does she have left on the table?
7.
What would make you happy for the rest of your items?
All of it?
Mhm.
Oh. Mm. Mm.
It took her a second to count to 5, but I think she can manage 7.
7 items. Which you asked her for a price.
I did.
Now we gotta do math. Or she's gotta do math.
Perfectly fine. This is what editing is for.
Should I just roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, what do you want me to roll? 10, 12, 20, what?
Go for a D10, sure.
80 gold!
80 gold, and you'd be okay parting with all the rest of your wares here?
Yes, do you have 80 gold? She gives you like a suspicious look. One of her eyes twitches.
I'll reach into my bag and my change purse, and I will pull out and set 100 gold pieces on the edge of the table.
She snapped it up. Here, take. Eh.
Alright, at some point give me a list of whatever the heck I just bought.
I will send you a list.
Okay, thank you. So,
A bag of leaves, a couple twigs, a clump of moss, a bone, I think.
There's a necklace that's made out of bones that supposedly saves you from death.
There's a bucket with a hamster. His name is Toby.
So do you take everything and put them in the bag?
sure.
She turns to her bag, she opens it, and starts tossing out other knickknacks out of her bag.
Sadly, that's all I can afford to part with. There's other vendors to see, but you take care then.
She gives you
Well,
a suspicious look. Like, she'll actually cast something.
Oh well, she could do. Oh well, what is she casting?
Just detect magic.
Ow.
You're too friendly. I don't like it. Too friendly is not good here.
Does a tree roll a d20?
Sure. 6.
Okay. So does Byrn give off any magic auras with detect magic?
What
It's
what
a presence of magic, so.
what's the aura attached to like the entertainment hat?
Illusion.
Yeah. There'd probably be some illusion, I guess.
What about... And then I guess... Do you have the bow on you?
Oh yeah, would it have some sort of
I would
guess-
just see that it's magical, right?
I imagine so.
Yeah. The bow is gonna give off a magic aura, probably due to the nature of how that bow works. I'd probably say divination.
What about...
Because it
So,
allows
it-
you to keep track of a person whenever you choose them as your enemy. So,
And then... visible creature or object. Do I see any other objects that on him equipped?
My cloak, I guess, would technically be magical. I also have in my bag a folded up cloak that is magical. I don't know if any of my other loot that I've never had identified would be magical. But
She knows which one's magical and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
But if she sees illusions, she's going. It's like his whole visage is illusion.
Yeah, she's got illusion in there. That was the first thing he mentioned. There's an illusion aura about him.
Okay. Are you a fraud like him? She takes her staff and points to someone.
just a random person.
Wherever she's seen before, that's through illusions.
Because of the nature of tree, roll me a d20.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You got 20. Okay, I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
The thing that you're thinking of, that was what your first d20 was.
Oh,
for,
what?
you did detect
Oh,
magic.
okay.
This
Never mind then.
d20, this d20 was you because a lot of people in this area are shady and criminally in mind a lot of the times. So there's a lot of people in this area that Tree could potentially call fraud for various reasons. So since she was just, pointing out her stick at someone who she deems to be a fraud, I was trying to decide, would she pick somebody
Oh,
who...
fraud! I thought you were
Fraud.
saying frog the entire time.
No, fraud.
Fraud. But yeah, since she's trying to find people who are frauds, and there's quite a few of them here, I was having to roll that second d20 to see the significance and importance of the person that you deem
I'm
is
like,
a fraud.
who she picked? What'd I
So
get?
she picks, since you rolled a 20 on it, you point to the tall dragonborn in the back.
Everything about this interaction has me concerned.
By the way, little side note, you were asking what aura the Oathbow would have. Which one did you assume it would be?
Divination.
Divination?
Yep.
That's what I
Okay.
thought. I thought I looked it up before, and it also makes sense because the real magic of your bow is always knowing the location of your target and dealing more damage to your target. That's more divination. Because even, I believe, like the Hunter's Mark spell counts as a divination spell.
Now this is just from a random website, but it says divination aura on Oathbow.
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense.
So,
So she points to the Dragonborn from the carnival.
Yep.
Yes,
Dragonborn
and she's
from
like,
the
are you
carnival.
like fraud?
He is most definitely a fraud. You are absolutely correct.
So you are a fraud.
But then again, I wouldn't be here if my friend hadn't been swindled by him. So
So you're a fraud.
no,
I was asking if you were a fraud. And you said yes, so you are a fraud.
no.
Why are you fraud?
God damn it, Tree.
I'm not a fraud.
You got illusion magic on you, boy. You are a fraud.
Nothing wrong with that. Some people decide to change their clothes with illusions. What's wrong with that?
Your face is illusion.
So if I wore makeup, what would the difference be?
You're a very strange fraud.
Anyway.
No one trusts a fraud, but you gave me money. I still don't trust you, but thank you for your money.
You're welcome. Thank you for your artifacts. I hope that you find many good meals with that.
Yes, now get out of here. Go. She tries to whack you again.
Bonk.
Yeah, so I will accept her invitation of leave of self, and I will away myself from her.
I mean, she could sit here and just like look over at the dragon board and just call out and like, "Fraud, you got a friend."
Hey, Sam, do you actually want to roll an attack again?
Oh. I mean,
Or
I
are you
could.
just kidding with that?
Like she was waving her staff, kind of like shooting away, like, "Go get."
I forget, what is tree again?
Tabaxi.
Tree is a very short, very fluffy tabaxi,
Gotcha.
and she is very old.
I'm getting that.
I'm kind of picturing like Corrin from Dragon Ball.
Kinda.
Where does Byrn go after leaving Tree?
Well, now that I'm getting stared down by this weirdo, I don't necessarily want to walk straight to the dragon fraud.
Admittedly, you don't know what sort of response he had because she didn't call, she just pointed.
She's just like, she talks and like used her staff to point at the dude. So I don't know if the dude noticed.
I'm gonna actually roll to see if he noticed. Let me check something right quick. Just out of sheer curiosity. I'm assuming it's probably not all that high. Just for the base thing.
Like, she's not being hidden about it or anything.
Oh no,
so.
I know she's not. It's just whether or not he'll notice. Perception uses wisdom, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. No. No.
Yeah, no.
So I'll do a roll for it, sure, but it's not gonna be great. Actually,
oh, no.
he'll have it. Yeah, no, not with that.
Dang.
So, yeah, he doesn't even notice you're pointing. He's focusing on his mead that he's got in front of him.
So, how far away do I need to peruse before I discreetly notice if Tree has fallen back asleep or found something else to muse over?
How after having the encounter with Byrn, how quickly would Tree fall back asleep?
She would just probably just sit there and just like looking around, and she'd probably like just be muttering to herself.
Yeah. Does Tree have a tail?
Yes.
Angry
It's just
tail
like
twitch
under her
behind-
rolls.
Yeah. Slightly twitch under robes of her tail going back and forth, of slightly agitated but not really angry, just sort of.
Is there like a little rock around?
Yeah.
She uses one of her staff. She like taps the ground a little bit with it, and a little rock just goes flying off at a random person. She uses telekinesis.
Right. Roll a dexterity based. Wait, it's telekinesis. It could use her stat for.
That's
magic.
what I'm saying. She's using her staff for magic.
Okay, so.
So there's like a little glow at the top,
you,
and it
you
just
can-
like a
you-
tiny rock just goes pew.
You want to actually attack anything specific, or is she just throwing it randomly?
Just random at a random person. She's just there to cause chaos.
Roll for me a
She's
d20.
She's like, "You fraud too!"
No, she'll like just cast it, and then it's like once it hits someone, she just sits there and like manically like giggles to herself.
Roll an attack. Roll a d20 for an attack, and use her spellcasting modifier, I guess.
Oh, okay. What is it?
It should be charisma, I think.
It is charisma, but the spell attack bonus.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Roll me a d6. Okay.
You said it's just a tiny rock.
So, Byrn, as you're starting to peruse or look around at the other wares and other people, you will see a, looks to be a dwarven individual, male, sort of got this bit of scruffy looking beard, not really well kept. Most dwarves are try to look proper. He's not one of them. And he just gets beamed in the head by a little pebble. And he looks up and just like, the fuck, where, what? Yeah, whatever. And then he just goes back to focusing on what he was looking at, which he was keeping an eye on his table and his wares, but he was actually reading a book at the time he got beamed in the head, so didn't quite notice where it came from. Yeah. And so Tree's not gonna fall asleep that quickly. She's just sort of gonna peruse or to sit there and be chaotically angry, I guess.
But she's not exactly okay. She's being sort of ADD. She's not like hyper focused on me.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Good enough. So after feigning to just sort of peruse a little bit, I will work my way over to the fraud at the north of the room or whatever.
All right.
Does he say anything or look up as I approach him?
He'll look up, and he'll... Oh. I see. Sort of taps at his chin a little bit. You must, know the right information to find your way here from the carnival. You were at the carnival before, yeah?
Yep. I briefly slide the little orange-red lava lamp vial out of my bag and say, yeah, I was there. And I slide it back in.
Welcome pack or prize. Did you actually win that, or did you just buy that when you went in?
Welcome pack, yeah.
Didn't think
I
saw
prefer...
you actually playing games.
Go ahead.
I didn't think I saw you playing any of the games.
No. I prefer investing in something that feels like it has more value. I appreciate what you have going on, but my friends were having fun, so I didn't alert them to your setup. And they did have a blast. They might even come back. Yeah, I sort of bit my tongue around them.
Well, the fact that you're here means that either someone told you about us or you figured it out.
Yeah, someone got a constellation prize, and
You shush. You.
We got the Orion's Belt prize. We got the Big Dipper. We got the Little Dipper prize over here on the shelf. Don't worry about it. It's tiny.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends walked away with a consolation prize, and everyone was marveling that it looked really neat. sort of mundane, but still well made. And I just happened to notice, and that might actually be beneficial for both of us. That I found out.
No?
Looking for some information. Uh, do you know who you would recommend that I talk to? Is there anyone who peddles wares of words? Obviously, I would need someone that I could trust their words, though. I'm not looking for a bard.
Well, we got all kinds of people down here. Any specific kind of information that you're looking for?
Looking for someone who might know where. Someone who might know how to get a specific item attuned to another plane. It's a little beyond me, but that's currently on our to get list. So, figure I could help pad someone's pockets for pointing me in the right direction.
Well, he's currently not here, but we do have somebody that dabbles a little bit in the ways of the planes. He comes by every now and then whenever we've set up down here. Are you and your friends, you gonna bring all your friends here or just yourself?
Exactly know that I came, so this could be a limited transaction.
Well, I'm not exactly sure when he's going to show up next, but and as he stops for a second, Byrn, make a perception roll. You're probably not going to fail it because you 14, but do me a perception roll. Oh,
4.
all right.
You see, oh,
Yeah. So, though he looks to be Dragonborn, and since there's only one person here, I'm not going to put it in just text because it's just easier.
Yeah.
What? No.
But yes, it's the truth.
Anyway, so you will, with a 34, you will see precisely why, Little Miss Tree depicted that, this guy was a fraud.
Okay.
And that being, he's not a Dragonborn. You will, with your, I think it's technically investigation to see through disguise self. But it's on further scrutiny is what it says, and you rolled a nat 20 on your perception check. So, I'm just going to give it to you. Plus, you yourself have background and knowledge of when people are using shenanigans of disguise self to disguise themselves.
Nothing wrong with that.
You realize that this Dragonborn, and this is when I say something to make the other players laugh because it's going to be great. This is a Dragonborn by disguise, but is actually not sitting on the chair that he's supposed to be sitting on. The chair's not really there. He used that with the illusion stuff that he's got going. It's a Dragonborn that is just on a Dragonborn disguise on top of 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
this is just a weird little market.
I've seen that step block.
Yes.
I'm half tempted to ask if Skunk can be one of them, but no.
Depend on Skunk's backstory.
The justification I would come up with would be he lost a bet.
I mean, he could interact with him, but he's not going to be one of the ones in the 3. So.
Yeah, no. If Skunk isn't going to be in the trench coat, he ain't here.
So. But yeah, it is. Byrn, you will very quickly see through his disguise and shenanigans that he's got going on. And in particular, when they were discussing whether or not he would be like the person of the plains would be coming by, he was starting to say he's not exactly sure when he would be coming by. And what procs your perception check was to potentially see through the disguise, because Kobold on top was saying, I don't know when he's going to show up. Kobold in the middle was like, I know.
Shut up!
Precisely, yes. Yeah, that it is very much a. I'm not exactly sure. I know. Shit. Anyway, yeah. I'm not precisely sure when he would show up, but if your friends are traveling nearby or you have a quicker means of getting here, then you can potentially come back when he's more around. And if you do come in, you would be looking for a very strange halfling. He's not hard to... He's hard to miss. He's an interesting one. And he doesn't... He's proud of what makes him unique. A bit like that one over there. And he sort of discreetly points his cup towards, 3.
Yeah! Hi, Fraud!
Roll eyes. Pay no attention to her.
So you said I'm looking for a, what was the adjective, small person?
It is a halfling, and he is very unique and hard to miss. That is how he's being described. He is hard to miss.
Okay. How is he hard to miss? Is he the size of what is oak?
No, he's actually covered in tattoos.
Okay.
And
I'm taking
many,
it.
not many here. Most people that come by here shroud themselves in robes and try to perhaps build themselves up to look tougher or look more mysterious. And no, anytime he's around, he's broadcasting out who he is and what he looks like. He's a bit more upfront for someone who wants to come to a market such as this.
Interesting.
But he knows his stuff.
Fair.
He's been around. He knows his stuff.
Fair enough. And you don't have any idea when he might be back?
You see, because you've seen through his illusion already, though he's not aware of that.
Correct.
You will see the top kobold basically do like a small kick and of the kobold in the middle, and then he's actually thinking about it. He should be here tomorrow night.
Might be a little bit difficult because our party is currently in travels We're not sticking around this area.
Would you like a means to get in touch with him? He could come to your camp.
Or perhaps meet somewhere just outside of the camp.
Sure. I might have to get in touch. I'd have to see if he'd be willing to do that. That might.
I don't want to spook my companions. Is all.
Correct. I understand. That might.
So
take
at
a
this
little
point,
bit of-
Byrn's been gone for like well over an hour and a half. Just pointing that out. Is Locke getting worried?
How long is a watch?
A watch is a couple.
Couple hours.
It's several hours, at least 4, generally.
Well, if we have 3 or 4 watches, that would make each watch shorter.
It's
Well,
the
we have
idea.
3.
The idea is, it is 8 hours of sleep for everybody in the party, and
Like over 10 hours, everyone has a 2-hour shift or something.
basically, yes, precisely. It is a 10-hour sleep cycle, so that everybody can get at least 8 hours of sleep, meaning that the actual watches are about 2 hours.
That math does not seem right.
It feels weird because the idea is, Byrn, for example, first watch, Bjorn rather. Bjorn is awake for 2 hours, sleeps for 8. That gives him his full night's rest, and you guys are at camp for 10 hours. Locke has got the middle watch, so he sleeps for, actually it'd be
4 hours.
whether or not the math is weird, but ultimately it's at least a couple hours for a watch. I'd have to double check the math.
It'd be like 2 to 3.
Yeah. The idea being that 3 watches. Actually, that's what it is. It's 12. Your sleep cycle is for 12 hours, so that it's 4, 8, 12 from 3 persons' watches, and then 4 in the front, the 2 4s in the back of their 8. 4 in the middle, the 4 in the front, and the 4 in the back of their 8. And then the 4 at the end, the 8 in the front are their 8. But anyway, so 4 hours.
So he's probably not worried yet.
Not yet, no. But yeah. So
Well, how long did it take him to walk over here to the cave?
there was at least that. So he's been in here for in-game
Couple
time and
minutes.
whatnot. He's been in here for at least an hour, and it probably took him about 30-45 minutes to find the cave, and he's gonna have to make his way back. So he's getting to the end of his visit anyway.
Yeah.
So, well, I might be able to get him to come by your camp. He would just need a means to find you, and
You didn't answer Locke's question, by the way.
no, Locke is not getting worried. That was what the whole
Okay.
thing was. He wouldn't be getting worried yet. Necessarily. Unless Locke would just be worried that he's gone for a little over an hour and a half when he goes for his walk.
I mean, if the idea is stretch of the legs, I'm figuring like 15-20 minute walk, and it's like, this is taking a while. Oh, back to making sculptures out of roots.
So, he'll,
This one.
Look,
looks
it's a
like
bear.
This one looks like a duck. Anyway.
so he will say, well, I can, when he shows up next night, I can send him your way if you can give me a means to contact you. Unless you want one. I can give you that. It'll cost you, but I can.
Does Byrn understand sending stones?
He would, yes. He's a cleric that can cast sending.
So I have in my random loot stuff a half of a sending stone. Is it like already attuned to the other half and that's it, or is it like a cell phone?
It's attuned to another half.
It is generally. It is generally attuned to another half, but there's no set way that sending stones are supposed to work. So I would often myself say that it'd be sort of like a magic Bluetooth. You'd have to get the sending stones touching each other long enough so that they could attune to each other. But that would take a while, and you don't necessarily have that amount of time. The magic would then be, because attuning to something generally takes an hour. So if you treat that down to objects, it would be setting a pair of sending stones that are separate from each other, next to each other, for an hour, and then all of a sudden they're attuned to each other. But that said,
do I have a communication spell as a cleric that if I prepared it would be useful?
yes, you would have access to sending.
Which is what level where, huh?
I believe it's level 3 or 4. It is cleric level 4. I mean, I know you have access to it because Oak has access to it, and you're higher level cleric than him.
It must just not be on my character sheet.
Level 3.
Because I'm looking at level 4s. I have like 5 plus the special ones.
It's level 3. Level 3 evocation cleric spell.
And it's just sending?
Sending.
Oh, I have it. I was looking at it. I'm blind. I'm sorry. This is why I don't play spellcasters.
Yep, it's there.
So I would be able to use that, and they would be able to reply, kind of dealy.
Yep.
So, how do I know who to sending to, or is someone going to sending to me and I reply?
In this particular instance, it would be, you would. He doesn't know you have access to sending, but you mentioning that and him going for like sending stones himself as a means to give you contact, you could theoretically sending to someone that you don't know yet if you're given a description, and you were given a description of this guy.
Very tattooed, standout little guy.
Yep.
Okay.
So, knowing that, we can just, nip it all up in saying that the Dragonborn starts to offer you sending stones, and then Byrn can just be like, "Oh, I can do that on my own," or some variation therein. And now that you have
actually, we are traveling in the place where Silver is the Saglins Bluff, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's where her temple is.
So we will probably not go through Cabriton for various many thousands of reasons, but we will probably skirt near it. I have sending, so I could theoretically reach out to a person. How about, and what was that, about 3 days that somebody timelined from our location to roughly Cabriton? Could he perhaps meet us in about 3 to 4 days around Cabriton? In the outskirts or like outside the city proper?
You might have to get in contact with him to see if he'd be okay with that, but perhaps.
Okay. I'm thinking that might be a little better for appearances if he'd be willing, so maybe I'll reach out to him and see if that can be arranged.
Alright. Well, you have your description if you're one of those spellcasting types that can do such a thing.
Indeed.
What?
Go ahead.
You will need a name, obviously.
Is that required for sending?
No, but if you contact somebody in their head with sending spell and you're like, "Yo, this."
True. Yeah.
You kind of need.
True. I want to make sure I hit the right tattooed little guy.
Like, is this person? No? Oh,
Yo,
sorry.
this.
I was like, fuck.
I was busy scratching my beard. You pulled me outside of the city for this? Yeah, so, do you have a name so I know that I am in touch with the correct person?
Yep. The name of the individual is, because halfling, that.
Osfire Wavehunter. Okay. I just wanted to finish up with quote unquote Dragonborn person. So I appreciate the information. How much would you like for the knowledge?
You know, I kind of like you. How about we go, just 2 platinum for the intel?
I'll give you 3. That's 1 for each of you, right? Easier to split. Now they're aware that I'm aware.
Right.
You got to us! Meow.
Okay. Actually.
3 rolls instead of 1. I figured. I don't know what it is, but one person's agreed.
Great, that's fireball.
He will actually shiver and just 3's good. Okay. Out now.
Byrn will sort of hand it over to whoever's controlling the hands at the moment and wink and say, no worries. Secret's safe with me.
Okay.
The feet disbelieve me. I can actually roll something if required.
I mean, you're telling the truth. You're not going to tell anybody.
That is correct.
So, yeah. He will give you a stern look, and you'll see,
A little thumbs up come up around his neck. Neat.
something like that, yeah. He'll give you a sort of stern look, and then stop that now. Shakes his head. Anyway, pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise. Thank you. So I will vacate. And do I have any sort of repertoire of move fast? Granted, I sort of disagree that I would have been inside over an hour. Interacting with Tree probably took a long time, and making sure she wasn't watching me being paranoid probably took a little bit of time, but...
Well, here's the thing. We can kind of round it out because I've been using one very specific 10-hour-long video for the background music for the entire duration you've been in this cave. And that video has been playing for 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 37 seconds as of this point.
Right. Real-time version?
A lot of the interactions.
So there was a lot of delays, but it's still probably been in here for about an hour, at least, for nothing else. So
Yeah.
By the end
it's
of
not
it
too
all,
far off.
Not including travel time.
Yeah. By the end
Yeah,
of
that's
it
not
all,
including travel.
By the end of it all, you've probably gone in about that time. So, with travel time being about 15-20 minutes, assuming you're heading back now, you're going to have missed. You're going to have missed essentially, like, half of the proposed 4-hour watch.
Okay.
All in all. So I was sort of leaning more towards the interactions as a whole inside the cave take an hour, rather than saying that you're spending an hour with Tree. So anyway, you will make it back.
So yeah. I leave, I return.
going on with the camp?
Nothing of importance at the camp. Though Locke will
I'm
see
sorry.
Byrn.
Locke's project is, I'm sure, very important.
I mean, fair.
And he had advantage on his smarts for a decent amount of time until I lost concentration because of tree.
I'm going to roll a thing. Right, so my attempt at making a duck out of swamp roots is horrific.
You have to squint and turn your head, and it's like a kudzu animal. It's like it's Big Bird. It's
That number
kudzu.
looks familiar to me.
Like, I'm looking at this thing, and it's like, I was trying to make a duck. I didn't want to make a boot.
And you will see Byrn return.
Ah, there you are. You were gone for a while.
Yeah, longer than I intended, but sometimes it's good to go for a little bit of a stretch. So. Anything will happen?
Well, I tried to make a duck, and apparently I made a boot, so no.
How big is his little? How big is your little mini swamp?
It's like maybe 2 or 3 feet out past the edge of my square. 8 feet in any given direction from me.
And it is theoretically physically there.
Yeah, well, I'm just straight up pulling a fragment of that other plane into here.
How big is the little head carved bear?
Probably about as big as.
What, the little wooden bear?
Uh-huh.
Couple inches.
I walk up to Locke's little mini swamp, and I'm like, and then there was a bear, and I said it in there.
Is that what took you so long? Were you whittling? Can you whittle?
No. I found it discarded out there, but it looked pretty neat, so I picked it up.
Huh. Did you set it down in front of me or something?
Yeah, I plopped him down in your swamp so he looks menacing to scale.
I reached down and the swamp stuff itself is life size. It's just it's only occupying an 8-foot area.
Okay. Well,
either way, I'll reach down and I'll pick up the little bear and I'll look him over. Huh. Yeah, cute. Not sure, just discard this in the middle of nowhere, but I guess if you're gonna get rid of something made of wood, toss it in with the wood. It'll fertilize the ground at least a tiny bit, at least. I'll toss it back.
Byrn will catch it and didn't exactly prepare to detect magic, so I don't know if there's anything other than just someone was bored and made something cool, but
I cast detect magic because I can just do that.
Nope.
It is not magical.
Nope.
It is not magical.
it still looks cool.
Yeah, it does. Maybe just stick it on a string right around your neck. Ooh, wait, fuck. Give that to Riven.
7 platinum.
Give that to Riven. She seems to have a thing for bears now. She turns into a big one.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this should totally fly past Locke because there's absolutely zero reason it wouldn't. Yeah, it was worth every penny I had to pay for it.
What?
Because I found it,
Ah, okay. Locke is gonna look at him for a minute. You didn't go for a walk, did you? Oh, I Deception 28. Never mind. I didn't do that.
So yeah, I guess I will rejoin him for whatever remains of our watch.
Following morning, Riven and Bjorn and Rinray will have their watch that they previously rolled.
Nat
before.
20.
Nat 20. I put it as being like 30 minutes away to go all the way over to the mountains, but nah. There's not really a whole lot going on in the morning, per se.
Yeah.
You'll hear animals and other such things, and everyone will sort of prepare and get ready to head out, and we shall have you guys continuing your trek ever southward.
Yay, onward.
And at least Byrn knows that his totally magical bear is not magical. So he wastes his turn in combat.
Combat.
Yeah, Tree said that the bear, like, if you throw it in combat, would become like a totem and you'll gain the strength of a bear.
I mean, it depends. It depends on if you're in your mind palace or not.
And that's funny, but for only me and Kenneth because we've been playing Persona. Anyway, but I think we can go ahead and end it here.
Anything to do along the travel?
Unless you guys got anything. Not a
I
whole
do
lot.
not.
Though, admittedly, Unray is... I can... Actually... Riven's perception during the watch was a 20. I'll give you
20-something.
Yeah, I'll give you some messages later on that Riven might have picked up on a intended to be softer conversation with y'all, but you picked up on it because Nat 20.
No, I was just mainly asking. It's like, does Byrn try to give the bear to Riven?
Oh, yeah, probably. I didn't know where we were actually going to call it, but yeah, probably. Is she the watch directly after us?
Yeah.
Yeah, think so.
So, if that's the case, then at the change of the guard, yeah, sure.
She doesn't take it from you.
That's fine.
That's to be expected.
Yes.
And Locke will see that as well as part of the watch change. It's just like, here, have a bear, and Riven's like, nah.
Okay.
But yeah, we can sort of call it out here, and I will send you a thing, Sam, in a momentary. But
Yeah.
we can do this has been Shadows for Brian, and a join us next time can be myself. I'll say that join us next time.
All right, so I'm doing This Has Been.
Yep.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Join us next time as the group continues on towards their trek to save silver, or at least get information. Yay! Nothing can possibly go wrong. It's fine.